Have a seat, buddy.
I'm working on it. I gotta see what we're talking about today.
I swallowed a bunch of Scrabble tiles today.
Alphabet soup?
No, my next trip to the bathroom could spell disaster.
I thought I had it.
Alphabet soup. That's kind of graphic.
Now that you said that, yeah, it is. You know, I had to fire the guy that mows my grass.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. He just wasn't cutting it.
All right, so, man, we were invited on a show last week, and we had a lot of fun. A customer of ours that we've been close with for a long time installs a lot of Haven lights is starting this podcast, right? And he was kind enough to invite us and really wanted us to
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, right, that's right. Yes, we really livened it up, didn't we?
We made the show.
We made the show. That's right. Right.
I mean, we got out of our trailers, got in there, and really put on a good show.
Yeah, but no, it was very nice of Tommy to invite us, so we had fun. I mean, we did have fun,
and we had it recorded, so we wanted to show you guys just the recording and promote his show a little bit. He's a good friend.
Check him out, the Lighting Geek, and he's actually been on our show before.
He has, and he's been on HGTV and everything. So check him out. His name is the Lighting Geek. If you're in Sacramento, California, and you need lighting, he's your man.
Yep.
But check him out and check this out.
Hey guys.
What is going on?
Well,
Tommy, Lighting Geek.
You guys out on the patio there?
Yeah, we're in the showroom, and
That's what I mean.
I know we're recording this, but this is opening day, and around Cincinnati, you know, we sit around and watch baseball all day. So we're in the showroom watching some baseball.
When you call and you can't get a hold of me, I'm usually here.
That's why, I'm going to put a camera in there so we can see what's going on in the showroom. No, that place, I've been there. It is awesome. And I don't think there's going to be anything like it ever. Not to the extent that you guys took it. I mean, it's
pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Pretty
we get
crazy.
people all the time walking in and wanting to see it and go over ideas, and it's been fantastic. It's definitely made its money back already, and it's only a year old, but
it's really nice too because the consumer can come in, they can get a vision for all of our lights, what it does. They can interact with all the technology. But the beauty of it too is the installer can bring their customer by, and we can roll out the red carpet and really help sell projects. So it's been a great experience.
How big is that area for those that may not understand what we're talking about? So
it's 6,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bigger than some lots.
Yeah, check it out. We have some videos of it on our website, havenlighting.com, and it's an interactive walkthrough where you can see each area of the showroom. There's the front facade of a house, the front of a city hall building. We're sitting on an outdoor patio.
Yeah.
It is an amazing.
There's some cool stuff.
So I know
Hold
you
on,
guys.
before we get started, where the hell is Iceman?
Yeah, is Iceman going to be here?
We were promised. Were we not promised?
Yes.
I said, I'm not
Yes.
doing this. I am not doing this podcast without Iceman.
Yes.
Iceman put up a fit, and he's not going to show up.
He's a no-show?
He's a no-show.
We're out of here. We're out of here.
I love these guys.
We're on the wrong side anyway. This is my side.
Hey, we had to switch sides.
Okay, hey, to make this official, we have to tell dad jokes, don't we, at this stage before we get started?
Yeah, probably so. I mean, this is always the side we're on, when we have our videos. So we
That's right.
Well, speaking of Iceman, Tommy, I replaced my rooster with a duck.
Okay.
Now I wake up at the quack of dawn.
Oh my God. Okay, Chris.
You asked for it.
Yeah.
I know, I did.
You can imagine the applicants we get for job postings just because of Rob's jokes. I mean, they're phenomenal.
Well, that's actually what a lot of people put on top of their application is they just put a dad joke. That's how we pull their application to the top.
With their picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I got one for you. So
okay, go for it.
There's this frog, and he goes to the bank, and walks in and he says, well, I need to get a loan. And the teller, her name was Mrs. Whack. And she said, well, Mr. Frog, I can't give you a loan without some collateral. And he says, well, what would you take for collateral? And he said, well, all I have is this little shiny pink elephant here. And Mrs. Whack says, well, I don't know. I'll have to go ask the boss. And so she goes back to the boss and says, we got a frog out there and he needs a loan, and all he has for collateral is this little shiny pink elephant. And the boss says, well, how am I supposed to take that? And Mrs. Whack says, well, I don't even know what it is. And the boss says, well, that's a knick-knack, paddywhack.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
You've been saving that one up for a while, I can tell.
He pulled out that one out just for you.
So, being that my property's called Mermaid Acres, what do mermaids use to clean their fins? Tide.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had to dig deep for that one. So anyway, I love the way that you guys.
We won't let you on our show for that one.
I know it. Well, actually, he visited our show one time.
He did, but we might have him back.
Yeah, we will for sure. He's going to have to come with jokes though this time.
Oh yeah, we got to up the game a little bit.
Hey, I've got the official My Lighting Sucks T-shirt on. Says in dog years I'm dead.
Did you get your official T-shirt in the mail?
I have not.
Yeah, it's in the mail.
I have not.
So, yeah, but I found out today that I am 441 years old in dog years. So,
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get out a calculator.
Yeah.
So, I love the fact that you guys start out your podcast that you guys do for Haven Lighting with dad jokes and keep it light. I mean, there's too much seriousness in the industry already. So,
well, it's so funny, Tommy. We tell the story. So we first started out these videos just to be instructional videos, right? And
they were terrible.
Anytime somebody, had a question, they could go to our platform and watch the video and hear all the information. And that's strictly all it was just information. And I think one episode we were just having fun and all of a sudden you cracked a joke and it lightened up the whole mood.
Yeah.
And Evan was like, this is brilliant. We're going to start doing this. and so we kept doing it. Well, then it was funny. I mean, fast forward, I don't know, 2 years later, had a customer had a question about strip lighting, I think it was. And I said, oh, I've got a video, let me go back and find it and send to you. So I went way back. I think it was episode 2 or 3, maybe. And
is this before the jokes?
I didn't even want to share the video. We were uptight. We were nervous. It was
all
awful.
Stiff. It was bad. Terrible stuff.
So I sent the video and he didn't buy the strip.
Ultimately, though, I mean, going back to the jokes, we make a fun product. So, we try to have fun at work and being that we make a fun product, it's a lot of fun. So we actually have, we're taping, but we actually have opening day here. I think I mentioned that before. And all of our lights in the showroom, you probably can't see them, but they're all red right now because the game's on, and we have game day that attaches to sports. So this all happens automatically. So
I have no doubt.
We just make fun, cool technology, and we try to have fun at work too.
But it's funny. A lot of times we don't even know that the Reds are playing, and the lights will turn red in our office. Like, game started.
Yeah, I didn't even know spring training started in the office. The office lights went on. I was like, oh, guess it's spring training.
And that's part of the service that you guys offer, right?
As far as it's free when you buy our lights. Yep,
that's awesome. So I know that you guys keep it light, but I do know, Chris, you're pretty serious about color and white lights, by the way. So what caused you to get into the lighting business and get into the color side specifically?
Yeah, so I ripped out all my landscaping and went through it. I had old Kitchener landscape lights there. They were 15, 20 years old as the house was, and they didn't look very good. So I ripped all those out and I went to buy replacements. And my goal was to buy replacements that I could use that I didn't have to put up Christmas lights anymore for. And so I Googled it and nothing came up. And so, and I figured if I Googled it and Google didn't come up with anything, then it didn't exist. Wasn't exactly true. And I won't dive into the details, but and so we developed our own. I had a little bling up motorcycle lighting business at the time, and then another business where we made scales for conveyor belts out in the middle of quarries and mines, and we weighed rock. And so coincidentally, the two technologies kind of merged. So with the scale business, we were sending information to the cloud because the scales were miles apart from each other. In order to get the data, the customer wanted the data on their phone, and so we sent all the data from the scales to the cloud. So we combined really the two technologies, the two completely different companies together, and ultimately created Haven Lighting.
It is an amazing product. I use it, and it does something that I've not found a product that does it the way you guys do it. And,
yeah, we were fortunate, I think, for two reasons when we started the business. One is that we didn't have any preconceptions on lighting before that, on landscape lighting before that, so we could start with a wide open brain. And two, we didn't have any fixtures that were made for lighting, so we weren't trying to jam technology into the fixture. We made the technology, then we made the fixture around it. And so that really propelled us to have the best color, the best saturation, the best controls on the market, because we had no limits. We had a completely blank piece of paper, and we're able to start the business with that technology in mind, instead of trying to take, what we've been making for 20 years, which is what a lot of our competition does, and try to jam the technology into what was already being made. So we were just fortunate that we came along at the right time with the right product idea, and got to start with a plain sheet.
Well, we feel too that it's really given us an advantage with that mindset, and we approach it from kind of a consumer's perspective too.
Yep.
So we what does the consumer want? And that's really kind of what we're after, is that true consumer experience. Now we're here obviously to support the installers, and we do that every single day and night actually. So and we love doing that. But with our products and the way we kind of approach our business, we really look at it from the consumer's eye. They're the ones that are purchasing the product at the end of the day.
Yeah. And because of the technology, we get to talk to a lot of consumers.
Sure.
So, we get a lot of product ideas. We are consumers of our own products, so
right.
we come up with ideas. So a lot of the features and benefits that we create come from us using the product ourselves in our own homes. So it's a lot of fun.
Briefly describe what the color lights do. The 9 series. How many colors. And when people hear me talk about color, the very first thing they're going in their head is, I don't want my house blue all the time,
right?
Or purple. So explain to the consumer why this is different.
Yeah. So it's a cloud-based system, and you can control everything from the Haven Lighting app on your phone, right? So the beauty of the system is really the power is in the scheduling. So you can schedule your system to come on classic white for the majority of the year. But then if you want to participate in holidays or sporting events or any kind of fun party you're having or whatever, you can set that to a schedule for it to automatically happen. So for instance, my lights come on white for the majority of the year, but then 4th of July, everything will go red, white, and blue. Or the month of December, everything can go red and green for Christmas. But you can also, there are layers within the scheduling that you can prioritize. For instance, if you had a birthday in the month of December where you have a Christmas event occurring, that birthday can override that Christmas event and then go back to Christmas and then go back to white after Christmas is over. So there's all sorts of layers of programming and scheduling that you can do. But at the end of the day, you can have as much fun with it and be as interactive as you want with the system, or you can just have it simply come on white.
Yep.
One of the best experiences for me was that we had a customer that did the front of their house, and they had a child that was just severely challenged in a lot of ways, and was a full-time job taking care of her. And it was her birthday, and we got the lights in and running, and her favorite color was purple. So she was at like a daycare kind of learning center. So they picked her up and brought her home after dark, and then the lights were already purple. And man,
that's awesome.
It totally made her birthday. She talked about, she still to this day talks about the purple house. And so
cool.
they had to convince her that this is only going to happen on your birthday.
Right.
You know, but it was great. Just seeing somebody light up like that is just crazy.
Yeah, those are my favorite stories. I actually have one where I was at a trade show actually, and a woman came up to me and introduced herself, and she said, I just wanted to thank you. And I said, for what? And she said, well, we have your lights, and 2 weeks ago, one of my best friends just came home from the hospital after breast cancer surgery. We had a big party for the coming home party, and our whole property was pink for
That's awesome.
for the party. And she said it meant so much to her and her friends and her family that those stories are, I mean, I get goosebumps telling it. Those stories are just the best, one of the best parts of what we do. We do some, we're involved in a lot of resorts and things like that where they're having charity events, and we get to touch a lot of people and with our product that we don't see it, but we get to touch a lot of people. I mean, Veterans Day is another one where, our product says thank you all over the country. And we get to, I tell a story to where my father-in-law is a Vietnam vet, and every time he sees somebody with a hat on, he goes around and shakes their hand and says, thank you. So I started doing that. And they always appreciate it, by the way. So I would highly recommend it. But there's a lot of people that don't wear the hats, and you get to say thank you. You get to say thank you to those people, even though you don't know who they are. So
that's right.
That was powerful. That was tear on the face. That was a good job.
So you've done some pretty big projects lately. You want to share with us the big one that I know you did down in Florida?
Yeah. So Disney contacted us, and they simply searched us online, looking for color lighting, looking for a solution. They had existing color lighting, and it was just outdated. It didn't really work. They wanted something more interactive, something with more controls, yet user friendly, where they didn't have to get a programmer in and reset something every time they wanted to make a change.
They have some DMX style
very
lighting in other
complicated
areas,
systems.
and
Yep.
they have to have a programmer do
Yep.
every change.
So they, in fact, had stopped just completely controlling the system at all. So they were looking for a new system and contacted us, and that relationship really took off. We went down and met with them, obviously, and it's becoming now where they're calling us for multiple projects. We're wanting to do this. What are your ideas? And just got back this week actually.
And I think if I recall, they were just completely blown away.
Yeah.
By the simplicity, but the thoroughness in which that product took care of business.
Yeah, the general manager actually came up to us and said that they have a customer that's been going there for 20 years. And she went up to him and said, I've never seen this place look so good.
That's awesome. So you also have, aside from your typical uplight path lights, you have some other really unique things going on. The pendant light, I forgot what you call them.
Champagne light.
Champagne lights. Those things are crazy.
Yeah.
And I would encourage everybody to go to their website at havenlighting.com. Is that right?
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I practiced that.
Rob has that. Rob, we have a cheat sheet in front of on the table for Rob when we do our podcast, just so he doesn't forget that line.
Right. That's my line, actually. Yeah. Havenlighting.com.
Havenlighting.com.
You have to say everything else.
Yeah, I gotta name all the other platforms, and he has one, but we got a piece of tape right on the table right here in front of him that says havenlighting.com.
Does it have his name on it too? So go to the website, check it out. You guys have videos there, correct? Kind of showing off
a ton of helpful
because
videos. We try to put, and Evan does a great job on the website, and we try to put so much material just where you can visit our website and you can hopefully have any question answered that you have. So
you just threw Bart right under the bus. He's over there like,
Bart's doing the website now. That's why it's looking good.
They're both standing here, so we're just giving them a hard time.
Yeah.
One of the things about having gone there and seen all this, more important than the facility and all the things you guys have done, it's almost magic there, is the people. The quality of the people that are working at Haven are top notch. And I actually left kind of jealous that you managed to get that many quality people in one room. Because I'm lucky if I can just get people to show up to work on time with their fly facing forward.
And we've done a great job at that. I mean, Rob brings down the average a little bit, but other than that.
Yeah.
Well, it is really cool that just the culture here it's unique. And I told Chris the other day, I said, you know what, there's not one person in this company that I wouldn't go have a beer with after work. It's just and I think that's really important. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that really kind of goes in on a lot of the hiring process.
Hell, we can have a beer out.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're pretty well set up over there. So you also do white lights. And so for those people that are not interested, in getting color, I think the smart white are pretty cool. And that's where you can actually change the colors from the eight colors of white on those.
Yeah.
And then you added something, didn't you?
We did. Yeah. We call it sparkle mode, which is very, very cool. So, if you don't want color and you just want white, you can set up sparkle mode, which will twinkle the lights, and is great at Christmas, even 4th of July. You can set the speed of the sparkle. You can set what light sparkle. So if some people have their house say solid and their trees sparkle, or they make their house solid or sparkle and the trees, stay solid. And it's very unique and really a cool feature.
But it's a system too that gives you that independent zonability of each light. So you can dim down certain lights, you can brighten up certain lights. You can have different. I know there are a lot of times in some, installers and designers, they may like the evergreen trees a colder white than the house, for instance, sometimes in some areas of the country. And so you have that controllability. And I know too, a trick like during the winter, making your lights come on a little colder than the warm white traditionally in the warmer months. So you can still have a lot of controllability with just white lighting.
Yeah. And then like a lot of times we'll do a second story where a light will be in a kid's, next to a kid's window, and we'll have that light dimmed down at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever. And the rest of the house stay the way it is. So it just complete control and complete functionality. However you want. We actually have, and this goes with color and white, we have some customers that add seasonality to their lights to where on the white side, they may, around here we have winter and where some of the lights that are shining on some bushes and stuff that lose their green, those lights won't turn on in the winter automatically, and then they will in the summer when the bush comes back and blooms. So just lots of different alternatives. With color, we actually do that even to the next level to where like at my house, I've got some lights that are shining on two trees in the front of my house, and they turn purple during the spring because I've got these flowers that bloom around the tree, and it matches the colors of the flowers, and it really pops. It really is good.
One of the things I've done in programming the white is we go to summer solstice and we make it the yellower of the colors, the warmer. And then we split up between winter and summer solstice and figured out how many weeks that is. And then at some point in time, it would change to the cooler, heading towards winter. And then during the winter solstice, it's the cooler. And the reason is that the customer that I was working with was from a part of town like you, where they have a lot of snow on the ground and very cold winters. Yeah. And they missed that. And that cool light reminded them of that cool white that you get off the bounce off of snow. And
well,
so,
around here, you want to stay away from yellow snow, is what we're told. So,
that is a true statement. So, hey guys, I really
You are?
appreciate
Really?
I really appreciate you guys taking the time to have a conversation about Haven Lighting and kind of introducing to the public, you know, what you guys are about and that you're serious about what you do.
Hey, a polar bear walked into a bar
Okay.
and said to the bartender, "I'd like a rum and Coke." And the bartender said, "Why the pause?" And the bear looked down. I was born with them.
sorry,
On
Tommy.
that-
On that
Sorry,
note,
buddy.
You know, I prepared for that. I prepared for that all week, and I didn't get 2 laughs here.
all right. I'm going to say goodbye on that note, and I really thank you guys for turning up here. And we'll talk
All right,
soon.
next time I want Iceman.
Yeah.
I promise you, next time
on the
Iceman
video.
will be there.
All right.
Okay.
We'll
Talk
see
to you
about it.
guys
Take care.
later.
Thanks.